Blog Talk Radio.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Summer party. Grown and sexy. Join the party. Put summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.
Hi, welcome to another Friday night edition of the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel. Ketel! And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right, we're going to get a
Ketel will join us in a minute.
APB out on Ketel. You probably wanted to go see a man about a horse.
Well, happy Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is here.
Juneteenth! Woo! Happy Freedom Day. Happy Freedom Day.
The day that Trump said he made popular.
Oh, gosh.
Give me a break.
Why you got to bring him up? I'm trying to celebrate.
Give me a break.
Don't mention him.
I made that day popular, man.
Oh, my gosh.
That man crazy as hell. Anyway, we don't have Ketel here. We'll talk about the rundown for tonight. We'll go over the rundown here. Let's see. Under hot topics, we got... we're going to talk about Trump signs an executive order calling for police reform. We're going to see how lame that is. Also, the Supreme Court rules that gay workers are protected from the Job Discrimination Act. Also, former Atlanta cop charged with murder in the death of Ray Brooks. All right, under Hit and Quit It, you got support the Justice and Equality for Black Americans today. Google pledges $175 million to support black entrepreneurs.
All right.
Wow. Yeah, well, it's almost like they got to get forced to do that. We'll get into that. Nike and other companies just made Juneteenth a paid holiday. All right. Representative Swell now supporting renaming the oldest bridge to honor John Lewis, who went across there with the freedom fighters. Also, Aunt Jemima and others to remove image from packaging. Well, they redid her hair. I was kind of satisfied with that. And Uncle Ben, I ain't never had a problem with him. Netflix CEO donates $120 million to the HBCUs. All right. Also, the cocktail of the week. You got my segment of What's Poppin'. We got the weird news. I'm Just Saying with Redwine. And we have Living for the City. Our Hollywood wrap up with Ketel. The kiss the list. Last word.
Oh, there's Ketel.
Up from the deep. We just did the rundown. I ain't doing as good as you. I ain't doing as great as you, but your pay will still be docked. Anyway.
I love you too.
Yeah, you laugh until that direct deposit drop. You'll see.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Not on Juneteenth, Papa.
Yeah, no, don't do
All right.
that. That's not right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of our rundown. Sit back, relax,
and get your what?
Get your favorite cocktail.
Uh-huh.
All right. Or grab some iced cocktail or whatever you do, and we'll be right back with the show.
So I was looking over the Cocktail of the Week archives, and we've had so many really great drinks over the past year and a half.
We've had our original signature drink called the Pajama Party and a game changer, and of course we have the last word.
I like the Revolution. It was Hennessy, lemon and lime juice, agave juice, and bitters with jalapeno slices.
Ooh-wee!
I like that Crown Royal Flush with the Crown Royal, peach schnapps, and cranberry juice.
Oh, yeah. And one of my favorites was the Wait a minute, what's it called? The Dutch Mule, yeah, the Dutch Mule with the Ketel orange vodka, lime juice, and ginger beer.
There are so many to choose from on the apajamaparty.com website.
So check out the Cocktail of the Week archives to get the recipes.
And you can find out how to make the cocktail of the week and sip along with us.
Are there instructions there too?
Sure they are, along with pictures of the drink so you know exactly what it's supposed to look like.
So what's that y'all got in your glass?
This is a boomerang.
Well, I got a Kinky Reed over here.
And I got the aviator.
Get the recipes at www.apajamaparty.com and click on Cocktail of the Week. Cheers!
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel
Hello.
and Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Woo, well, we about to get this thing rolling. Starting with the hot topics. I got to talk about what 45 did, one thing out of many. He signed an executive order this week calling for police reform. That happened on Tuesday of this week. So the executive order is encouraging police departments to improve training, which is a step that critics, of course, say falls short of what really needs to happen to curb police officers' use of force against non-white people, black folks. The order comes as Trump faces tremendous pressure to take action, of course, following the killing of George Floyd last month. So in the ceremony, which at most times sounded more like a campaign speech, he basically was defending police officers, saying that Americans demand law and order, even though they may not say it and they may not be talking about it. That's what they want. I'm like, well, if they're not saying it and they're not talking about it, how do you know that's what they want? But that's what he said. And he said that the number of bad officers was very tiny, according to him. So this order is also supposed to create a database to track police officers that have multiple instances of misconduct and use federal grants to encourage departments to meet certain higher certification standards on the use of force. Now, that part, I'm like, wait, so you're going to give them a financial incentive to not beat up people? I'm not understanding the logic behind that, but that's the way I read that. And plus, they're going to use federal money to do it, federal grants, to encourage departments to meet certain higher certification standards on the use of force. So, anyway, so they're calling on the departments to involve social workers and mental health professionals when they're dealing with situations like homelessness or mental illness and drug addiction, things of this nature. So, of course, the order calls for the police departments to ban the use of chokeholds, but then he put an exemption in there and said, except when an officer feels that his or her life is endangered. Well, isn't that the reason why they claim they're doing it now? Because they feel like their life is in jeopardy? So to say that, well, we're going to ban chokeholds, except for when you feel like your life is on the line, then you can choke the hell out of somebody. I'm just not. Now I see very clearly why the critics have a problem with this executive order, because it's full of holes like Swiss cheese. It's like saying, we're going to do this, but we're going to let you do that, and then we're going to include this, but it won't really include the things it really needs to include. So basically, it looks like he just went through the motions, signed that big signature with that black Sharpie, and patted himself on the back. I don't know what else to say. I just feel like, to sit up there in the what's it called, the Rose Garden outside of the White House, and have this whole ceremony, and he invited some of the families of people who've been murdered by the police, a lot of which said, no, thank you. But I'm trying to think of the woman who did go. I can't think of her name right now. Her son was murdered. She did go, and she said that, he said a lot of things. He sounded like he meant what he was saying, but then you turn around and come up with an executive order like this. So I question the real sincerity behind it. I think this executive order was kind of like tepid water. Nobody wants to drink that. What you think about it, Poppa DD?
It was designed for the people he was talking to, and when he says Americans want, he really means that white people want. It's a damn shame that
Wow.
It must be hard. It must be hard to talk in code, knowing that you are the leader of the whole Aryan nation situation. He's the leader of that. Believe me, he is the ultimate leader of all of it. He they done got together and made that boy the boss of it all. And he's doing everything he can. Whenever something come up, he always talks like and what gets me is he thinks that people are so damn stupid. And he got other people fooled. They got the little tactic where they're throwing the Molotov cocktails in the buildings and burn them up in the middle of the black neighborhood and blaming blacks for it. I mean, and then you're saying, well, they're destroying your neighborhood. Well, they're not destroying their neighborhoods. Black folks don't even have a reputation of having Molotov cocktails. What the hell? How do you make a Molotov cocktail? What do you think? We the master of all the game? I mean, if you start a race war, I'm sure we'd figure out how to make them motherfuckers. But, for now, I don't think that's our normal practice to master how to make a Molotov cocktail. I think that's a whole other group of people that does that stuff full time. So, and that's been their tactic for years. I mean, Molotov cocktails been passed down through the years, through generations. Them racist jokers probably got the recipe printed on the wall somewhere, So it's just a mess. If you can't see between the lines, you're crazy as hell with all this, basically. So anyway, we ain't gonna give them too much time.
Yeah, I
what
know
you
that.
Say about it?
Well, all these people that are in line, apparently they love your president. They love number 45. I just don't get it. You stay in the line for 4 days to see this AWS. I don't get it. But like Papa said, he's the leader of the free world, and he's the leader of he's the ringleader.
That whole right wing stuff, he's the lead. He's the boss because he got all the money, he got access to the cash, and furnishing everything going on with everything. And he got there to complain about talking about some masks went out. Where the mask going out the back door? Boy, a typical ghetto ass up north mentality, thinking everybody's stealing but you, and you the biggest thief in the crowd. Unbelievable. Right. Well, like I said, we ain't gonna go there.
All right, we're gonna shut them off right now.
Yeah. Let's shut them down.
All right.
What you got?
All right. Well, if you guys want to join the conversation, heads up tonight 914-803-4306 and press 1 to get in the queue. All right, we got a big deal going on here. The Supreme Court rules gay workers protected from job discrimination. Yep. The Supreme Court handed a big win, to the LGBT community on Monday, ruling 6-3. I wonder who was those 3 people. I just want to know. I guess we can dig and find out. But 6-3 decision that an employer who fires a worker for being gay or transgender violates the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, protecting people from an employer's sexism as well as discrimination based on, the race, color, religion, and national origin. The decision dealt with 3 cases. Clayton County, Georgia, employee Gerald was fired from his job as a child welfare advocate for conduct, quote-unquote, unbecoming a county employee soon after he joined a gay softball team. Wow, crazy. Also, another one, New York skydiver instructor, was fired days after mentioning he was gay. And the third one was Michigan funeral home worker, was fired after she told the employer that she would be
She would do what?
I think we lost you, Ketel.
He had a big rainstorm in the area, so maybe kind of got lost behind that. Anyway,
Well, I just wanted to tag on to that story. Another case that happened this week with the Supreme Court is that they ruled against the Trump administration with the DACA situation, the what's called the Dreamers, and that's the young people who were brought to the United States of America by their parents from usually from South America or somewhere else, but who were here illegally, because we don't call people illegal. They came here illegally, and the children were brought here not by their own volition, but their parents brought them here. So they've been here getting an education, paying taxes, working jobs. A lot of them, thousands of them, are healthcare workers working on the front lines to battle COVID, and Trump has been gunning for them ever since he got in office. So he wanted to get rid of them once again. He tried it, and the Supreme Court ruled against him for the second time this week and said, no, the DACA situation stays intact. Because, of course, that was put in place by President Barack Obama. So you know how 45 went after everything Obama. So, yeah, so that was 2 Supreme Court cases that 45 lost this week. So you know he's hot about that. Ketel, are you back with us?
Nope.
Okay, keep trying. And you know what was interesting is on the back end of all of that, after Trump lost 2 Supreme Court rulings this week, then he started going on about how he needed to get new justices. I'm like, didn't you select, 2 of them? You got the guy who was accused of rape, I forgot his name, and then you got Gorsuch. Both of those were appointed by him. So now you're mad because they're not voting in your favor, or the case isn't going the way you want it to. Now you want to get new justices, which equates to you want people to vote in your favor. That's not the purpose of the Supreme Court. Their job is to uphold the Constitution, not to uphold you. I declare. I feel like he has never read any books on government or civics or any of that. He just likes to just do what he wants to do. I don't know. I don't know what to say about your boy. Oh, well. Oh, Ketel's back.
Yep, I'm back. Sorry about that. But you did a great job on this story. Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay.
Like
Did you have anything else? Anything else on that other civil rights case?
No, I was just telling you those 3 civil rights cases that went up against the Supreme Court. Those were the 3. No, that was it.
Okay.
I think they really had to vote, for that cause because, the way that they were fired and stuff was just so crazy. I mean, they say that they joined a gay baseball team. What makes a baseball team gay? Who the hell was that their assumption, or that's what they called it? Because somebody gay got on a baseball team was a gay baseball team. That was just crazy. I mean, the whole scenario of all 3 of them was really the works of people that are so homophobic that it's not even funny. And I think that if the Supreme Court ruled against it, that would have been another explosion going on in the world, So I think it was too many there was too many things going on at one time, and the Supreme Court said, you know what, if we want to walk out this front door tonight, we need to handle this.
I think you got a good point. Yeah. But I do want to add that they said in all 3 of the situations, the employers admitted that they had fired the workers for being gay or transgender, but they argued that this did not violate this Title VII. Really? You going to admit that you fired them? I mean... Yeah.
Well, they can't help themselves,
Yeah,
they're
I guess
so
you're right.
Whatever.
But that goes back to what I was saying about loopholes. When this legislation is given or passed, if it's full of loopholes like Swiss cheese, people are going to jump in and out of those holes.
Yep.
All right, well, anyway, as long as it's holding, that's what's up. All right, well, let's move on. Are we done with that story? Or?
Yes.
Anyway, they're saying a former cop that was fired will be charged with murder on the death of Rashad Brooks, and rightly so. You know, this particular case mimics the other case in South Carolina so close that it's not funny when the guy got out of his car after he was stopped because he didn't want to be flagged for his child support, and he started running. You know. And when you run in and you shoot at a moving target that's running away from you, you know, where's the threat? Where is the threat? I don't understand. And if you knew all that man had was a taser, and even if he was a taser loaded or unloaded, I mean, if you look at that tape really good to see whether or not the taser would fire, when you shoot a taser, you know, wire is dispensed from it, charged wire. Now, this man is running in one direction. The problem was with them guys, their anxiety was so high that they lost their mind. You know what I mean? Because in all actuality, that boy Brooks was whooping their ass. He really was. He was getting the best of them, too. And the one dude, got one guy, the heavyset guy, threw him off of him. And the other little smaller guy got so pissed off that he took chase on him. And when Brooks turned around and fired what was only a electronic wire that got caught in the wind of the velocity of running, didn't touch nobody and just died. That was the only time he pulled that trigger was the only shot he had at those police with that taser, and that was it. But once he shot his load on that, you knew he didn't have a weapon because you already searched him. And then for you to shoot him in the back as he was running away, I mean, what kind of barbaric stuff was that? I mean, in any event, you know, people always say, well, damn, you could have shot him in the leg. You know, I mean, it's almost like what we are fighting for today is that, does everybody have to have the shoot and kill mentality? I mean, you already shook this person down. This person has no weapons. You got pissed off because they did something or said something, and you feel like, let me just go ahead and kill him. But you don't think like that when it comes to your white counterparts. It doesn't even come to your mind. Like you said earlier, Redwine, when they see white folks, they see themselves. Mm-hmm. And they say, I wouldn't kill myself at a younger age or a stupid age or on drug age or a drunk age or anything. But when you see black people, you feel like, well, you shouldn't have been drunk. You shouldn't have attacked me. You have to die. And that's the bottom line on that. So it's crazy. You know, so the Atlanta police officer who fatally shot Rashawn Brooks, a black man, has been charged with a felony murder. All right, Fulton County District Attorney, his name is Paul Howard, announced on Wednesday that the now former police officer, his name is Garrett Rolfe, or Rolfe, R-O-L-F-E. So I guess we'll call it Rolfe. Garrett Rolfe, who was charged with 11 counts, including felony murder, 3 counts of aggravated assault. He said, we conclude and consider it that Mr. Brooks never represented himself as a threat. During the 41 minutes that he spoke with Roll and the other cop, Howard said. Okay, within 2 days of the incident, Rolfe was let go from the Atlanta Police Department as far as his job was concerned. And the other officer, Devin Bosman, was placed on administrative duties. Bosman was a heavyset guy that Brooks threw him off of him. He jumped on him, Brooks just threw him to the side. And I think the other guy got pissed off at that, but Boston had been charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault and he turned state witness. So now he's going to speak against the other guy. So anytime you turn state witness, you're trying to keep the job, you're trying to throw him under the bus. It's going to be interesting, okay?
Yeah, but I think he already backed up off of that.
Well, you know, the cops got together and did some raggedy stuff too in Atlanta today. I don't know if we have that story. We should just connect that story with this story.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
They all didn't come to work today. 25 Atlanta workers, you know, probably white guys, all didn't come to work today. Now, you're still trying to exude your power or your blue badge of honor, but why would you try to prove your blue badge of honor when that cop shot the bullet out of his gun? You know, the one thing you need to be concerned about is your own career.
Yeah,
now,
they're protesting that this cop is being charged,
Yeah, well, why are you
how
why
are
you worried about that?
protesting what he did?
Once y'all all get together to help him with his legal defense. That's
that
what
would
you
make
need
more
to do.
sense.
That's what you need to do. Because if I had a family and I was a young cop or what have you, or just a cop, period, there's no way I'm going to jeopardize my job and my position to go down with somebody. I mean, I would be down with him in spirit and down with him if I felt like I want to support him, I could support him. But when I choose not to go to work and they fired everybody, remember, too, back in the 80s when Ronald Reagan fired all of the air traffic controllers. Don't forget that.
Yeah, when they went
all
on
right.
strike.
He fired every last one of them monkeys, changed the whole air scheme, fired everybody. All y'all fired, period. That was major.
And see,
major.
If Mayor Bottoms fired all of those officers for not coming in, then that would be a whole nother round.
Well, she's being cool right now. She could, but then when she did that, if she did that, Trump would throw his ass up in the ring.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That would be a whole new round of mess.
Well, she's being cool
to deal with. She's trying to work it out.
Well, she's just waiting to see what's up. You know, she ain't working it out right now. I wouldn't even work it out right now.
Trying to appeal to their sense of duty
and
all.
Like I said, you got to play it out because, you know. But anyway, let's see what happens. Like I said, that case exactly mimics the gentleman that was killed in South Carolina by the other cop. In fact, that cop, once the guy was laying on the ground, he walked over and threw the taser on his lap, like to plant the taser on him. Oh, that was the guy. Yeah, in South Carolina. That was unbelievable. I mean, you shot I tell you, what I want myself is I want to see a documentary or something of where are they now. The cop that killed, Michael Brown, the cop that killed this one, the cop that what are they doing now? Are they in some type of Utah type of police force that hires cops that kill people? Or I'm sure somebody's supporting them somewhere. I'm sure there's a big support fund for them. Believe me. So anyway.
Well, I didn't understand. Why did one of them step on his shoulder like that? Standing on his shoulder, and one of them made the statement,
because
we got him,
I
got him.
The anxiety was off the chain. Even when he first slapped on his window at the Wendy's was aggressive. You just wake him up, say move on or keep it moving. People going around him, they were called because the guy was sleeping. You know what the sad part about it? We'll move on to the next story. Is after these people get killed, you think back on what the initial charge was or what the initial call was. Like George, like Floyd, where it was a alleged counterfeit $20 bill that the guy called the cops on. Then you end up making a national situation on a $20 bill. And then the gentleman at the store said he's sorry he called the cops. The gentleman that called the cops on Michael Brown, he was the same way. He claimed he's sorry. Oh, I'm sorry I called the cops. I didn't expect for all this to happen. Yeah, because you got a little two-bit-ass, five-and-dime store selling cheap-ass, rotten-ass food to black folks in the neighborhood. You're making a fortune every day, and they make a fortune. They make $250 just on rolling papers and blunts and everything, Philly cigar paper and everything else, just on the little crap that's on the front counter. You walk in a Chinese store, you see all the paraphernalia on the counter right there. All the Dutch, what's those cigars called? Dutches, and all that stuff. They make $300 a day just on that. Not to mention the greasy ass shrimp fried rice and the nasty ass fucking egg foo young. So and they open up when blacks awoke. They open up at 11 o'clock in the morning. They close at 4 a.m. All the time we woke, they open. When we sleeping, they close. Don't even get me started about a damn Chinese store. I know them well. Well.
All
anyway,
right,
anyway, don't get me started.
Okay,
don't get me started on them bastards. And they got nerve to call the cops when they selling a bunch of bullshit. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. We're going to move on to the hit it and quit it headlines?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay. We're going to go back over to you, Ketel. Hit it and quit it. What you got for us?
Let me see. Supports justice and equality for Black Americans today. It should be every day. About this giving opportunity, ending racism and its violent outcomes needs concrete action to improve the lives of people of color. So they're saying that you should give to these black organizations. Black Lives Matter, of course, which kind of started the whole movement Equal Justice Initiative, Innocence Project, also the Leadership Conference Education Fund, and NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. These are the top, the Black justice organizations that you should give to. Matter of fact, I just gave to Black Lives Matter today. It was a small token, but it helps keep things moving forward. And so those are the Black organizations. So just give. Yeah, so that's the key thing on these organizations. Just give to these organizations to keep stuff moving forward, Especially these Equal Justice Initiative and NAACP, the Legal Defense Fund, Educational Fund. I think that's very important. And of course, Black Lives Matter. That's the main one everybody sees all the time. So, that's it on that article.
Good information.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a movement going on, particularly for Juneteenth, to buy black. So I don't remember the name of the project, but there is something I saw on Instagram. They're talking about upload your receipt. I think what they're trying to do is show the amount of dollars that are being spent on Black power, basically, the Black financial power. So they're asking people to buy black and upload your receipt. So if you're on Instagram, you can do some searching and find where is that, who's handling that, if you want to participate. But even if you don't do that, just, we should be doing that anyway. We've heard people for years tell us, how Black dollars don't stay in Black communities. And, it's time we rectify that.
Right. Well, I did want to mention, I just saw something on the TV before we came on. This guy's name is Daryl Jones. He was the Black guy down on the wharf. He used to clean the fish. So they got rid of that, and he has 4 daughters, and they opened up the Southwest Soda Pop. I do remember seeing that on TV because they reached out to social media for money because, once the pandemic started, they were losing money, and they had to pay their bills. So she put on social media one day. The next day she woke up, she said, hey, they had about 10,000 followers. But people start coming down there to the wharf, and they were, just helping them out, So
yeah, that's great.
That's
I
fun.
saw that story, but I didn't realize that that's where they came from, that soda pop shop.
Right, but the legacy was from their father, Daryl Jones, the guy that had the little place down there to clean fish, and he was the only person that cleaned fish, and he was Black owned. So that's ironic that he has 4 daughters, and they opened his shop. So
good for them.
Yeah.
And I have been to his business before when he was open.
Yeah, I remember going down there too. Yep.
Yeah, because I'm not about cleaning fish. I just, that ain't my thing. But that brother would take care of you. So
he would.
Okay, yeah.
He would charge you a arm and a leg.
Yeah, we need to go and support that soda pop shop and other Black businesses. Let's try to keep the dollars in the community. Right. Okay. Speaking of dollars, I've got one for you. Google has pledged $175 million to support Black entrepreneurs. They said that they're going to put up this $175 million to bolster Black-owned businesses as the internet company vows to make changes on racial equity within its own ranks. They announced this on Wednesday, and they said they're going to spend $100 million to fund Black-owned startups and organizations that support Black entrepreneurs, and they're going to spend another $50 million that'll be directed to grants for small businesses within the Black community, while additional funds will be spent on job training and education access for Black communities. So Google's stepping up, trying to do something. They said that in the pledge, it will be, included in the pledge is a virtual startup accelerator aimed at Black founders. So Google's pledge comes after protests, of course, have spread across the country in the wake of the George Floyd murder, and Minneapolis by Minneapolis police officers. And some of the nation's biggest companies, such as Nike and Microsoft, are also making their pledges, and I think we're going to cover some of that. And, you know, they just go on to talk about that, and they're saying that less than 4% of their company's workforce is black, according to their latest diversity report, and Latinx people make up less than 6%. Native Americans are less than 1%. So, you know, they're just looking at what they need to do to increase the balance and make their company more diverse, and what they can do to put more money and more access in the black community. So I give them a round of applause for that one. Good job, Google. Just make sure you do what you say you're going to do.
Right. Mhm.
And we'll be watching.
Okay. Yep. All right. We'll see
like
follow
also,
suit.
Yeah.
Look like also getting on, I guess I wouldn't call it the bandwagon, but we'll call it the bandwagon. Nike and 47 more companies just made Juneteenth a paid holiday. I think, well, they all should, instead of everybody doing that internally, they should also get together and help support it to make it a national holiday. You know, we don't have a holiday in June as it is. You know, they should give with Stevie Wonder, have Stevie Wonder write a song about it like he did with Martin Luther King's holiday, to get behind that, as long as we have a living legend living, to get behind him or John Legend or Alicia Keys or somebody of their magnitude, to put some music behind it and push it to Congress or what have you. I think, you know, I just think that the world is changing. You know, it's changing for their eyes. So, but this all becomes behind, you know, the story behind it in 1865, which is not long ago. You know, if you're 50 years old or better, you know, you have grandparents or great grandparents that was born back then. So, at least was around during that time. You know, in 1865, June 19th marked the end of the Civil War and slavery, and that was the date that the word got around to the last place where they said was Galveston, Texas, which is, if you talk about Galveston, there's a lot of waterways there, just like New Orleans. There's a lot of the Mississippi River and all that stuff all runs through that area, all around that area. And this is where slaves was always transported and transponded, and they're going all, you know, the waterways was big time back in the day, getting people like it is today. You know, the way up in the Maryland area where you got rich white folks riding from Annapolis to Baltimore Harbor, taking that little back road back there, you know, to get back to Annapolis, and then coming around and go to Baltimore Harbor out there at the down at the harbor. So the waterways have always been ways of transportation for the privileged that know the waterways and get around on it. But all that was to get the word out to all the slaves. But you know, as it would be, if people are incarcerated or in bondage for so long, the word didn't get out. There was no announcement. There was no frequency. There was no electronics. So it was basically word of mouth. And then some of them had probably a mentality, which is so sad, where they felt like it was either better to stay and all that. I mean, it was just a mess. I mean, we were just so beat up. You know, we were just so mentally drained, so physically abused. And I think that, you know, the same way as the Jews celebrate the Holocaust, we have much reason to put together a whole, like we have the that National African American Museum. There's enough material and just enough literature that we can put a whole building of reasons why this holiday should be put in place. You know, that, and the way black people have sustained all the misery and still was able to develop a black race on the back end and keep it in perspective.
And still rise up.
And this is why we get so pissed off when we have Uncle Toms and everything else turn their back on us, or not getting us our just due, and getting theirs, and still wiping the white man's boot or wiping his ass or whatever they want to do to keep this up in perspective. And yeah, Clarence Thomas is one of them. Armstrong Williams, yeah. Well, yeah, the list goes on and on. I can name a few people I even work with every day. We won't even go there, but anyway. So it's so sad. This is the reason why, the Uncle Tom term has this is what Malcolm X's battle cry was when it came to why he was always talking about the black man needs to do this and do that. Even though Martin Luther King was talking about, and he had his angle also, to be peaceful and nonviolent, because he knew that violence would not cure anything, because he knew you were dealing with crazy ass people. This is what Martin Luther King saw. He saw the white folks were just fucking crazy. He said, we cannot go at them with violence, because they're crazy, and we don't have the proper ammunition or the artillery to match them. So why would we even try it? But Malcolm X said by any means necessary. And so, everybody has their position, and you can't put either of them down, because they were all standing up for us, and they all represented us, and I'm proud of the two of them equally. So, anyway,
all right.
That's where we are now. So
Nike's doing a holiday.
Yeah, the paid holiday.
Paid holiday.
And other companies are paying people.
All right, cool.
I
well,
mean,
that's
it's
good.
the day
Yeah.
of the week.
Applaud.
It's the day of the week anyway. Was it? Wasn't it? Was it? I don't know. It was the day of the week anyway.
Today it fell on this year. It fell on a Friday, so long week.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
All right.
Give them the day off. In the name of the slavery, give them the day off. Shit.
Yeah.
That's the day you don't want to come to work, right?
I know that's right.
Iron the slave. So I'm Labor Day. I'm a worker. I'm lucky to have a job. So shoot on Juneteenth. You take off.
Yeah, not slave free
Take
today.
off. Right. Take off on.
All right, let's go back on to Ketel. What else you got for us, Ketel?
I was going to also mention, I was reading about Facebook. They're going to give $100 million also. So that's a good thing.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, he also.
Yeah. He got to get about some of that money. But he's worth about $50 billion or something.
He's got plenty of it. He's got plenty of it.
Zuckerberg got some mess with him, but.
Yeah, okay. She's a kid. He's a child. He
doesn't know. He's trying. He's trying. So
you're right. He tries. He does try me.
He's a young guy, man.
But all right, we're gonna get on.
All right. Okay. I don't know if you guys know, but the bridge that John Lewis walked across in Selma, Alabama, they trying to rename it in his honor. That would be a great thing to do. Yeah. They were saying Representative Sewell, she now supports the renaming of the bridge in honor of John Lewis. Although the bridge was named for former Alabama U.S. Senator and former Grand Dragon of the KKK, the 80-year-old steel arch carrying Route 80 across the Alabama River is an international symbol of sacred ground in the nation's long battle against racism and justice. It's true. As such, most Selma residents, along with many others, long believed the bridge should not be renamed, even as some called for it to be the recast in honor of U.S. U.S. John Lewis, Democrat of Georgia, who famously helped lead marches in '65. Unfortunately, it included the Bloody Sunday. Everybody knows about that. And among them, so the Representative Terry Sewell, she was against it at first, but now she's for it. So I don't know what turned her cheek. I'm not sure, but I think they have some steam behind it, and I think it should be changed. The name should be changed. Yeah. So.
I agree. I mean, why do we continue in this country to honor people who have such hateful, murderous, etc. type backgrounds? I mean, what does that say about us as a nation? If you prop up and honor people who have done such heinous things, I mean, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, then let's not honor anybody.
Okay.
If we can't figure out who to honor, or we're going to honor people who were dishonorable, then how about we just don't honor anybody? But if you're going to put these memorials and statues and stuff up, I mean, really? this Pettis was a grand dragon. That's like the highest rank of the clan. Why are people saying that they don't want the bridge renamed? Are y'all part of the clan?
Well, I hope they don't tear the bridge down, because they tearing up these statues like it's nothing and dragging them in the water. So I hope they don't destroy this bridge, man. I'm telling you, I think they're going to pass it. I really believe that, and they should do it while he's still living. You know, that would be a great honor to him.
That would be good.
It needs to be done. Yeah, it just needs to be changed. It needs to be done. Yeah. So, you know, what's all the red tape?
Well, speaking of renaming, Aunt Jemima is about to get revamped once again. The company who makes it, that's Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats is saying that they're going to remove the logo and rename it based on public outcry that the branding perpetuated a racist stereotype. Enough is enough. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired of the Aunt Jemima image, even though they took off the head wrap and styled her hair, put some makeup on her. It's still Aunt Jemima. So it's like, just because you made her look modern, we still know what it represents.
But it could have been a name change, you know. Aunt Jemima was kind of crazy. I mean, I don't mind the picture and everything, but just change the name.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, Quaker Oats is saying that the longtime brand is going to be removed and by the end of 2020, and they're going to change the name at a later date. They haven't said what that date is, but they are going to remove the image. And they said that they're, working to make progress. They got several initiatives, and they recognize that Aunt Jemima's origins were based on a racial stereotype. And we realize that these changes may not be enough, but that's what we're going to do to get it going. Now, I didn't realize Quaker Oats is a subsidiary of PepsiCo, Pepsi-Cola company.
Yeah,
they own the Aunt Jemima brand.
It's a big company that oversees it all. But one thing I don't like, or I hope is in the mix, is that some people are just looking for a new campaign for something, and that's a reason or excuse or alibi to put something new in that place. And not getting rid of the pancake mix, but they wanted to refurbish it or resell, because once they put out the new stuff or whatever they do, they know it's going to have an upswing of sales, so they're looking for the best thing to make and put and what have you. So the real challenge is going to be, what are you going to replace it with?
Yeah.
What is your objective?
They're not getting rid of the product. They're just going to
I know they're not. I just said they're not. They're going to keep the pancake mix. But But internally, is this some type of they're just going after another campaign anyway? I just look at the devil's advocate aspect of things, because I don't trust none of their asses anyway.
I think what's really happening is that a lot of these companies see the change that the world is on the brink of, and they're trying to get on the right side of it.
They should have seen it change a long time ago.
Well, they should have, but they didn't feel the need to.
I think it's 50-50, because I think they're looking at the change of the times now, and then two, they're looking at their product as, if I'm Aunt Jemima, I'm not gonna buy it. If I'm black, I'm not gonna buy it, and I'm quite sure they're looking at the percentage.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Want their name? No, I'm just saying. I'm quite sure they're looking at the percentage of people that are black that buy their product. So if I'm black, and if it's 60%, which I'm not sure of the number, but if it's 60% of people that are black buying it, that's sales. The sales don't go down. So
yeah, but you know what? I didn't give it a second thought.
That's true.
When I brought Aunt Jemima pancake mix, the one that was the complete, which means you don't have to, you just add water.
Right.
I just grabbed it because I wanted some pancakes. I didn't really give it a second thought, and that doesn't mean I didn't care about the image and all that. But I appreciate a black woman being on the box personally. As long as they cleaned up, took off the rag and all that shit that was on her head. And once they did her up and made her look a little nicer and all, I was like, okay, that's cool. But I didn't give it a second thought. But all I'm saying is that I don't want people to come along and acting like you're trying to stay relevant So you're going to do something that you feel like everybody else is doing, just like Roger Goodell came in and said, oh, Kaepernick was right. Oh, probably because you finally seen somebody die on national TV that changed your mind. But what does it take to change your mind? And why do we got to wait for you to change your mind in order for shit to happen? We've been trying to change your mind for a while. What is it that budges your ass? Why do we got to wait till something actually moves that iceberg in order for the iceberg to move? We don't have time for that, to wait people to come around.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You still got people, I still know white people that when you say Black Lives Matter, they get insulted. They come right back with White Lives Matter too. If you go to Trump's thing on Saturday and you have a Black Lives Matter sign, somebody will whoop your ass in that room because they think you're trying to outdo them. When all it is making a statement about what's happening. They think it's a personal statement saying you want preference, and they don't want to give up the preference. They want to keep the lead dog, the lead spot. It's a mess. Anyway,
but that's interesting. That's you're gonna get off your soapbox. Go ahead. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I'm off it. I'm sipping on a St. Pauli girl.
Go ahead, Ketel.
Go ahead. Go and do
I was going to say I saw something interesting before we went on. It was a white pastor. He was talking and he was saying that right now Black Lives Matter. And he was saying that the congregation, which I'm not sure what the percentage of white, black, or whatever, that they were upset. And he was like to a point where he didn't care. But he's saying at this particular moment, Black lives do matter. I mean, yeah, okay, you could say if you're white or you another color, that matters. But everybody that I know that is for Black Lives Matter and trying to push us forward as a race, they're on board with us. I mean, from Latinos to whites to whatever. So it was interesting that pastor said, I don't care what they think. Right now, at this particular moment, Black Lives Matter. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I think some people are finally just getting it.
But you cannot fall for the okie doke. It's just because people are coming around and all these people, like I have a story here again that goes right back to the other stories. With all we got Google, Nike, all these companies that didn't budge, and then for them, if you can donate $120 million, believe me, you got a lot more money than that. You know what I'm saying? So they've been sitting on this money for a long time, and now that the Black Lives Matter thing is relevant, and everybody wants relevancy, everybody wants advertisement, everybody wants notoriety, and everybody wants to stay relevant. And I'm not playing devil's advocate on this, but I think there's a method to everybody's madness with all these big companies. They want to be.
But I do still also think that some of these companies realize not just about the relevancy of it, but they also realize that they do not want to wake up tomorrow when tomorrow comes and realize we're on the wrong side. That now black people.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the whole marketing thing is.
But I'm saying they don't want to be the ones to get picketed, to get to the point where black people say, okay, we don't buy from company X anymore because company X is racist. They've got these racist images on their products, so we're canceling them. But they don't want to end up in that position.
But giving money does not set you free.
I'm not talking about
you got to do more than that.
I'm talking about the ones that are changing their branding. I'm not talking about people that are donating money. I'm talking about the branding because we were talking about other stuff. There's a few other companies that are changing their branding
right.
as
I understand all that.
Well, let me just finish this, and then we can talk about it. We got Uncle Ben's, who's also saying that they're planning to change their brand identity.
I had no problem with that.
He's been on that box for the longest time.
I had no problem. He looked good. He was suited. He was studious. I had no problem with that at all. So why are you changing something there?
Well, they said because it was perpetuating harmful racial stereotypes.
How was it? He didn't look bad. What was he doing? He wasn't in no coveralls with a pitchfork in his hand. He was looking nice and studious. He looked like my grandfather.
Apparently, when they put him on there, they knew who he was or what he represented, and they kept it on there for all these years, and now they're saying they want to correct it.
All right, well.
And then they got Conagra, who is the company that owns Mrs. Butterworth. They're saying that they want to do a complete brand and change the packaging.
So, but when was Miss Butterworth established to be black? What is she?
Well, they said that. Well, let me finish, and I'll tell you. According to the Uncle Ben's website, the name was first used in 1946 in reference to a black farmer who was known as Uncle Ben, who excelled in rice growing. The man depicted in the logo is actually a beloved Chicago chef and waiter whose name is Frank Brown. However, the imagery invokes a servant. They're talking about Mrs. Butterworth, I think, who invokes a servant that uses the title as far as how Southerners once referred to black people as aunt and uncle for older black people, because they didn't really want to call black folks Mr. and Ms., so that's where the uncle and the aunt thing came in. So where Aunt Jemima became Aunt Jemima. So there's a lot of stuff that goes back historically. And these companies had this information. They knew it.
Right. You took the words out of my mouth.
And now they're saying we want to fix that and correct it.
Okay, but I'm not giving them that. I'm not giving them that easy road, because if you knew the backstory all the time, how much money did you make off of this? You have to understand that's the situation too. Just like in baseball, for example, they will not put Barry Bonds in a Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds passed Hank Aaron for most home runs, but they claim he was on steroids and all that, and even Uncle Tom asked Hank Aaron don't want to give up his throne because he was loving the position he was in. But they say but when Barry Bonds was hitting all those home runs, everybody was loving it. The TVs made a fortune. Everybody, just like A-Rod. When A-Rod was doing his thing with the Yankees, whether he was on steroids or not, the TVs and the networks and ESPN, all of them made a fortune. But now they're saying, oh, you were on steroids. Well, you didn't give a shit about his steroids back in when he was playing back in 2006, 7, and 8, winning championships with the Yankees, making money for everybody. But now you're going to chastise him after you done made all this money? I mean, it's very contradictory. And I'm not saying that I don't want them to not do stuff, but we need to look at the big picture on them and don't give them such an easy out. Just because you give him money. That's what happened to look at Jennifer Hudson, right? Remember she was sending money home to the family because she was doing well. And one of the members in the family was drugged out and ended up killing, 2-3 people in there? God rest their soul. And that was based on Jennifer Hudson sending money. Just bring your family to L.A. You can't send money back to the hood like that, and don't think that people that are strung out on drugs aren't going to do something adverse and what have you. And that's what they're doing now with this money. Everybody, $150 million. I got $150. Well, damn, y'all got all this money? Shit, you finally giving it up in 2020? Damn Facebook. Damn Netflix. Damn Nike. Damn this one. Damn, wow. We had to have 4 or 5 people die in order for y'all to show y'all gonna pull out the fucking bank book. We gotta look at the big picture. Don't just accept it and say, oh, they're doing so well. Oh my God, they're so nice. They ain't shit. They're guilty. They want advertisement. They want to be relevant. I'm not gonna throw a complete devil's advocate aspect at it, but it ain't that true. It ain't that real.
But I think you just hit on the key word is guilty.
I'm just saying.
I think the guilt.
Believe it, yeah, but that does not make it.
Has finally come home to them.
Stop
stroking
their ass. They ain't perfect.
I don't know how you got that impression.
Stroking their ass.
Not at all.
Yes, you
I'm saying that when people start feeling guilty, they try to make restitution.
Okay, and that's why
how
black
is that
folks,
stroking?
We're passive like you're talking. That's why we're in the position we're in.
How is that passive, and how is that stroking?
Oh, my God.
I'm saying that when people acknowledge their guilt and they say, you know what, we really screwed up, and we want to fix it. They acknowledge their wrong, acknowledge their guilt. That's not stroking anybody.
If a company can give $120 million, they got a lot more than that.
Well, of course they do.
They're
not going to clean out their bank account.
I didn't say they was, but don't front the money like that. Do something that's everlasting. Build some shit. Give some shit, some computers, whatever. Don't just say, oh, I got $120 million. $120 million to go where? To do what? To give to the CEO where he going to put it in his bank account and the black folks that need it still ain't going to get it? You know what I mean? Take it to the community.
I disagree.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what we do.
I think at least what Google is doing, as far as building entrepreneurs, that's helping to build generational wealth. So that is something that will last.
They were disrespecting their own female employees. So
I'm not talking about that.
Google ain't shit either.
You raised a question. You raised an issue about do something that lasts. And I'm saying when you build black businesses, that's an opportunity to build something that can last. A computer eventually phases out.
All right. Okay.
So I'm saying don't give me a trinket.
All right, well,
give me an opportunity to run a business.
Let's see where it goes.
Let me get in on all that money y'all are making.
Right now we're just talking about money. I want to see what
that's what I'm saying. Talking about
All right.
stroking something, that's some bull crap.
Yeah, you are. You're passive.
You full of it.
You're
You know what,
passive.
Ketel? You better get him.
You're passive.
You better get him.
All
You're
right,
typical.
all right. I mean, we really into this thing, boy. We're going to lighten up.
Tom,
Let's
honey.
take a little.
She's
Can we
Aunt
take a
Tom.
little
Oh,
CC
really?
break and come back with the
She's
cocktail
Aunt
of the week?
Oh, my
Not
God.
Uncle Tom. We're going to call her Auntie Tom, honey. Not Uncle Tom. She's Auntie Tom.
Can we take
Anyway.
a CC break and come back with the
Yeah, let's
cocktail of
go
the
to-
week?
You
All right.
insult me. Oh.
Do you have unruly children? Do they misbehave in school and get bad grades? Are timeouts completely ineffective? Are you scared to spank them because they might have you arrested? What they need is a new school where discipline is number one and education is secondary. What they need is...
Whoop That Ass Academy.
Here at the
Whoop That Ass Academy.
we don't have discipline problems. Know why? We're privately owned and we do what we want. And when kids get out of hand,
We whoop that ass.
timeout is for football games. When kids want to show off, we don't give them a timeout. We just
Whoop that ass.
We don't make a kid stand in the corner. That's by house plan. When one of our kids gets out of order, we snatch him out of that classroom and
Whoop that ass.
Here at WTA Academy, we make sure they learn the basics of reading and writing, math, and science. But above all else, they learn discipline. This is what will keep your kids out of jail. Make the world a better place. Sometimes you gotta whoop
that ass.
And we do. Here at WTA Academy, our motto is, we care enough to whoop
that ass.
They may not read and write too well, but they'll act like they've got sense because we whoop
that ass.
So bring your kids on down to
Whoop That Ass Academy.
We'll get them straight.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel
Hello.
and Redwine.
Ooh, bonsoir, darling.
Yeah, I
All
whoop that
right,
ass.
y'all.
Anyway,
Throw some water on y'all.
put some water on her.
It's time for the cocktail of the...
I'm going to throw this strawberry fizz on you guys. That's the cocktail of the week for tonight.
Oh, that sounds good.
All right. It's a half an ounce of bourbon, 1 ounce of fresh strawberries. Got to have the fresh strawberries. A half an ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of simple syrup, 1 egg white. I don't know, that might be optional for me. A splash of soda, and garnish with a lime wheel and strawberry. I don't know about that egg white. So we're gonna shake. We're gonna shake all the ingredients except the soda and garnishes. Place in a cocktail shaker without ice and shake vigorously for about 15 seconds. Heavy shake. Add ice to shaker and repeat. Add a splash of soda to the shaker. Strain and pour over ice into a glass of your choosing. Garnish with the lime wheel and strawberries.
Woo.
Now, when you strain that, what does that egg white look like?
I don't want to know.
I would
It's probably
pass on the egg
just
white.
floating on the top. Yeah, I would also. Yep.
I think it's supposed to just make it frothy, but I didn't put egg white in mine. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Right. Mhm. All right. Well, that's
our
cocktail of the week.
Juneteenth,
Cocktail of the week.
of the week.
I know that's right. There you go. You can celebrate with that.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Oh, the
You're
cocktail of the
welcome.
week is brought to you by our parent company, DC Homegrown Entertainment. We thank you for that. It's rather tasty, too, minus that egg white. Woo!
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
And, you know, I've seen a lot of cocktails that put egg white in it, but I'm just not that adventurous.
It gives it a
So,
whole
shall
different
we-
taste, I guess.
And look, I'll take your word for it because I'm not going to do it. All I see is raw egg, and I'm like, nope. All right, we're going to shift gears over to Poppa DD so he can tell us what's popping.
Well, I tell you, I hate to, just keep holding my position, but I'm just trying to be a believer, I can't. To me, it's not love at first sight. When people throw money at the black community, I don't look at love at first sight. I don't just start loving them like they want to be loved or they want to be taken in or understood or be a part of something now. You know, you had plenty of time to get in the game. You know, when people are living their life so lightly that they let Donald Trump hijack so many things in the past, you know, when those football players kneel down on their knee and they did it for a purpose, when Kaepernick was way ahead of his time with all this stuff going on now, and he even said he was going against the brutality and all that stuff, and most white folks didn't even know what it meant when it comes to police brutality because they never experienced it. So they're like, wow, well, why is he so pissed off? The police are doing fine or whatever. The police live in their neighborhoods with them, so they have no qualms with the police. But he was way ahead of his time. And when he got people in the NFL to kneel down with him, all of a sudden Donald Trump came along and hijacked the whole story and said they're un-American, they don't like the flag, they don't like the military. He said all this stuff, and ignorant people listened to Trump and put the football players down. Well, that was their mission from the beginning, was that. And all they was doing was kneeling down a little bit during the national anthem just to draw the attention for that moment. When the song is over, you get up off the knee and you play football. It's just that simple. You got Middle Eastern people that love football, but they're not gonna take their hat off or put their hand over their heart because they're from India or they're from Egypt or they're from Ethiopia or whatever it may be from. And the flag don't belong to them. That's not their flag. So they're not honored. You're going to jump in their ass too because they don't honor the flag? What you want to do with the flag is your business for the 3 minutes. And also, like I always said, the way the TV money is in TV and advertisement is, who even sees the national anthem before a game anyway? They so busy selling Coca-Cola and Budweiser and cars and Cadillacs and everything else they trying to sell, SUVs and Hyundais and everything else, that by the time the commercial's over, the kickoff done went off. They're already in the huddle, and they say, oh, while you were gone, they kicked the ball, such and such ran back to the 20-yard line, and here we are now on the 20-yard line. You done missed the national anthem, you done missed the damn kickoff, and now you're in the huddle about to do first down, only because they want to get 2 more commercials in. How often has that happened? So if you don't give a shit about the football game starting, why are you even going to make us think about the national anthem when nobody sees it anyway? Even with the influx of money in the game, they don't even show halftime no more. When last time we seen a halftime show? When last time we seen people out there dancing during halftime on a football game? Even when they honor some players in the Ring of Honor, you don't even see the Ring of Honor no more because they doing the commercials and halftime shows with Strahan and Howie Long and your boy from the Steelers, what's his name, quarterback Bradshaw. They're all talking about the first and second quarter of the game. And then they got people getting honored with the Ring of Honor, during halftime. You don't even see that. Then when the game come back on the third quarter, they show a picture of the guys walking off the field. Oh, yeah, that was from Pittsburgh Steelers, Franco Harris and such. They were all the men in the hall. We didn't even see it because you got your commercials and everything else. So how are you talking about kneeling down when the TVs and advertisement are too busy showing, Chevy Tahoe commercials? They don't give a damn about anybody. And that's the backdrop of all this stuff when it comes to money. These companies that are money whores for money got the nerve now to shell out money when they didn't care from the beginning. They were listening to Trump and backed off like everybody else did. But now all of a sudden when the world then got all hype about everything and everybody they see that Black Lives Matter is gaining traction. Before it was an insult to say that, they come back and say, just like this guy, he was in the national championship, I'll make this short, national championship of the NCAA last year. LSU played Clemson for the championship. LSU won the championship, but the losing coach, his name was, I forget his name, but anyway, he had a shirt on the other day that said "Football Matters," and he's walking around with his shirt saying "Football Matters." And the sports network, Stephen A. Smith and ESPN rode his ass, saying, "Is that all you can wear during a Black Lives Matter uprising we have right now? Is a shirt that says?" And here's a white man walking in a world that he's totally oblivious to what goes on. He wears a black shirt that looks like the Black Lives Matter shirt, but it says "Football Matters," meaning that he wants to get on with the football season and don't pay this shit no mind. Their asses are so fucking ignorant and out of touch that it's not even funny. And his name is, what is his name? Sweeney, Dabo Sweeney. You know, and now he makes $10 million a year just recruiting black people every year. He's going to houses up in the projects. You know, you got little Jimmy that can play football fresh out of high school, and Gabo Sweeney's right up there in his house and eating their little collard greens. And, oh, we're going to take care of your son. We're going to take care of your son. He's out there recruiting, and every project's going. Because, you know, them colleges, they will go into the hood of the hoods to find a damn good football player, okay? And this dude is wearing a shirt saying football matters, trying to make a joke of the whole thing going on, and his white ass is so out of touch with what's happening. I'm like, damn. But anyway, like I said, don't fall for the hype. Don't fall for the okey doke. You know, use a third ear and a third eye. Pay attention to stuff completely. Look at the big picture and use your common sense. All right, I'm going to leave that alone.
Okay, then. Ooh-wee. I hear you. Wow. That was a good one.
Yep.
Okay. Which way are we going? We're going to keep it rolling?
Lighten it up. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sure.
That's your line,
he said my line. We're going to lighten it up.
They're going to lighten it up. Okay.
Okay. We're going to lighten it up.
With the weird news, what you got there, Redwine?
Oh, I got the first one tonight. Okay, let's see. I've got scientists say they went cuckoo due to laughing gas from penguin poo. Wow. Scientists have reported getting so high on the nitrous oxide emitted by penguin poo that it actually made them ill. The levels of nitrous oxide, more commonly known as laughing gas, given off by the colony's feces, was about 100 times higher than in a fertilized field. Wow, penguin poo does that? Professor Bo Eberling from the University of Copenhagen said the truly intense amount of nitrous oxide exhumed was enough to send someone completely cuckoo. He said it's truly intense, not least because nitrous oxide is 300 times more polluting than CO2, he explained. After nosing around in the penguin poo for several hours, a person goes completely cuckoo. You begin to feel ill and you get a headache. Why are they nosing around in penguin poo? Anyway, he added the small nitrous oxide cylinders that you see lying in or floating around in Copenhagen are no match for this heavy dose, which results from combinations of nitrous oxide and with hydrogen sulfide and other gases. These little canisters of nitrous oxide are often sold legitimately for producing whipped cream, but they are also taken recreationally through a balloon, with users often littering the small canisters behind. This is so weird. I'm still stuck on why are they around all of this penguin poop? I don't get it. If you're in that much penguin poop, you ought to be high. Anyway, that's my weird news.
I thought they were scientists. Were they scientists?
Yeah, they are scientists, but it doesn't say what they're studying.
Well, maybe they're studying the penguins' poop. I don't know. That's what I would assume.
I guess. But they better not tell people about it because people will be trying to get high on penguin poop.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Ooh,
all right.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, I'll take the next one. I give Papa a break. He's been tearing things up tonight. I give him a break for a minute. Talking about penguins poop. I'm going to talk about panda. Panda taken for a walk on a leash sparks outrage, but it's not a bear at all. A video showing what appears to be a panda being walked across a busy road in a city center sparked outrage when it surfaced online. The short clip shows a woman walking across a pedestrian crossing with a black and white animal on a leash, leaving a passenger in a waiting car stunned as they filmed the bizarre moment. The clip caused a heated debate when it was posted online, but it turns out the animal isn't a panda at all. A man in southern China's Lishan has dyed his dog black and white to make it look like a panda. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Its owner, named Yang Yan, said his Chow Chow, named, oh, my God, Mi Niu, which translates as pretty girl, already resembled a panda, so he came up with the idea to dye her fur black and white using natural color. Lord have mercy. Yang says he made the dye using plants and water, claiming it is harmless for the dog.
Okay.
It's not the first time the dog breed has been given a makeover to look like a bear after pet shops in China reported they were selling out of panda dogs. What the hell?
Panda dogs?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wow.
That's enough for me. That's crazy.
Panda
wow.
dogs.
See how stuff gets started? Somebody thought it was a daggone panda. A rumor started, and it keeps going. I'm telling you. Once you get on that social media, it's crazy.
I'd like to see a picture of the alleged panda dog to see, because it must have really looked like a panda.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said, what kind of dog was it? A chow?
Yeah, it's Chow Chow. And
yeah, those are those real fuzzy. Those are real hairy, fuzzy type looking dogs. They kind of look like a big fuzzy wolf. So I can imagine if you dyed it to look like a panda, it probably did look like a panda.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I said. Mm-mm.
Hey, that's why it's the weird news.
Yeah, sounds like it's very popular though. Doing that. Oh boy.
Yeah, but what's that animal organization that throws blood on your mink
PETA.
coat?
Yeah,
PETA. I don't think PETA would appreciate this.
Yep. There's no safe way to die on any animal. That's crazy. I wouldn't put no down on animal anyway, because you don't know how they're gonna react to it. So.
Yeah. Well, he said it was all plant based or something, so he thinks that's safe.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I wonder how the dog felt about it.
I know.
Poor baby. All right, over to you, Poppa DD. What's your weird news for tonight?
This is about the noises coming from the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. The iconic Golden Gate Bridge now is, they say it's found its voice and it's already driving some locals crazy. What it is people are noticing why there were different sounds, whistles and hums and howls and screams coming from the Golden Gate Bridge when the wind is just at a certain point. And it sounds like it's howling and making noises. And what they found out is that they built a bike trail to go across the bridge. Now, who the hell would ride a bicycle across that motherfucker?
Crazy people. I don't want to ride a car across that thing.
Anyway, they got a bike trail now that goes across the Golden Gate Bridge from San Francisco to Oakland. And when they put the little tight rails up so they don't fall off the other side of the damn bridge, when the wind blows through there, it makes a whistle sound, a humming sound, and it sounds haunting. Yeah, it's whistle. For the different holes, and being that's an open area, whenever wind blows through anything, as you know, it makes chiming noise. So that's what's going on now in San Francisco. So you ever go to San Francisco and you go across the Golden Gate Bridge and you hear some whistles and sounds as you're riding across it, that's because the way they constructed it with the new little steel pipes to protect the bikers. The
so now the bridge is yelling and screaming and moaning.
Yelling and screaming and moaning all day.
All day and all night.
As long as the wind is blowing. But anyway, that was one of the last weird news.
That's crazy.
Want to take a little small break when we come back with Redwine?
Aye.
I'm just saying.
Sure, let's do that, and we'll be back on the other side of the break.
Je suis Ben Rouge. This is Redwine. And if you haven't heard of the Pajama Party Show, you have been missing out. We've got hot topics, hit it and quit it headlines, what's poppin' with Poppa DD, weird news, And I'm just saying, with me, Living for the City with Poppa DD, and the Hollywood Wrap-Up with Ketel, the Cocktail of the Week, my favorite, and the world-famous Kiss It list, and of course, the last word. We serve it up every week on A Pajama Party Show, and nobody does it like us. You can call us each week live on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern at 914-803-4306, or you can listen live online at www.apajamaparty.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at apajamaparty.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm your Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Happy Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Woo!
All
Juneteenth.
Right. National holiday.
Happy Freedom Day.
We need a holiday in June. I recommend we make it the third Monday of the month. Or just give it a day. Whenever the 19th falls on, that's the holiday, like Veterans Day.
I like what you said about getting Stevie to do it.
Yes, of course.
Or
John Legend. John Legend.
Happy Juneteenth to you.
Or Alicia Keys. Don't leave her out. Those are my three favorites.
Happy Freedom.
Why are you going to do a happy birthday song on a Juneteenth song?
Because I want to. You want to battle that too?
That's why they're not calling you to make it.
You want to
anyway,
battle?
we got Redwine coming up with the her segment called I'm Just Saying. What you got this week for the people?
Oh, this week, I'm just saying, I'm not falling for it. Contrary to what some think, I'm not
like
falling
you was
for
earlier.
it. Get off my segment. The FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California, and the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division are now saying they are actively reviewing the recent hanging deaths of two black men in Southern California. Now, both of these deaths were originally determined to be suicides by police who said that they didn't see any evidence of foul play. Now, both of these events happened just 2 weeks apart from each other, and I believe it was about 50 miles apart from each other. And the only reason now that they're being further investigated is because both families insisted and said neither one of these men were suicidal by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, I'm not falling for it. Something is not right with this. Of all the ways a person can take their own life, especially a black man, I just don't believe they would go out and find a tree and basically lynch themselves. I just don't think so. These were young men. Now, I know most families think they know everything about you, and they don't know everything. But your family knows you pretty well. You know, I think you can say that. That's true. Your family knows you pretty well. But don't you think that the family members would have noticed if something was a little off with either of these two brothers? Like a change in behavior or a change in their mood or something, if they were that depressed to the point of being suicidal. I mean, it just stands to reason somebody would have noticed something. So while the authorities are saying that they're analyzing the rope that was used for the hanging, and they're doing what they call a cellular analysis of the men's telephones, I just wonder if anybody checked their social media. Because typically when people are suicidal, you'll see it in their social media if they have a social media account. You'll see different signs, hints, phrases. Sometimes people come right out and say, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm tired of life, things of this nature. The hints and the signs would be there. So I'm wondering, did they check any of that? Because I'm just saying, I'm not falling for it. And I look at how quickly the police ruled both of these deaths a suicide without investigating any deeper. The police also noted the levels of racial tension in the country now, which makes me question, why was that brought up, even mentioned? Two men allegedly commit suicide Why are the police even talking about the levels of racial tension in the country? What has one got to do with the other if, in fact, it was a suicide? Was that like a low-key alibi? Did the police even check the ground where these two men were found to look for things like, tire tracks, footprints? You know, you watch enough of these different shows on TV, we all know at least to look for that. Did you even bother to see if there were any other footprints that did not match the footprints or the shoe of the person who was found hanging? Was the tree even short enough that they could climb without assistance? Or if they were found high up, how'd they get up there? Unless these two men were athletic, how'd they get up that high? Was there a stool? Was there a ladder found? Was the ladder or the stool or the chair knocked over? Because typically in a situation like that, that stool or ladder would have been knocked over. So I'm just asking, did anybody look for those kind of things, or are they just not releasing it? What's going on with that? I just think these are basic things that they should be looking for, and that's why I'm saying I'm just not falling for it. Now, there was also another incident in Virginia this week. A 17-year-old young brother in Virginia left his house, came home to find a burned cross in his front yard. Now, this brother said he's not scared, but clearly somebody wanted him to be. Now, it turns out this brother is an organizer. He's been organizing protests and marches, and he says, I'm not scared. What I'm going to do is go even harder. So that little scare tactic backfired. I think that these hangings are a message from scared racists who don't want the world to change, or they feel like the playing field is going to be leveled for blacks in America, and they don't want to see that happen. I think these people are reverting back to the old standby methods, thinking if it worked back then, it'll work now. And they're hoping, it'll work now. But it's not going to work. So all you that out there plotting and doing all this stuff, burning crosses and whatever it is you're trying to do, save your strength. It's not going to work. This is Redwine, and like I said, I'm not falling for it. I'm just not. That's all I got.
All right. That was a good one, Redwine. All right.
I mean, this stuff is getting crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, wait.
And to me, they're moving kind of slow to figure out, what's going on.
Exactly. Let's see. Let's go to the lines. We have a caller. Let me see if I can get this call up. Just a second. Caller, hello. Welcome to the Pajama Party Show. You're on the air. Go right ahead with your comment.
Hey, Redwine. This is Timmy calling from Atlanta. And I was calling because it's like about the last segment you had. Regardless if he was depressed and was suicidal, no black person, no black male will use hanging as a way of suicide, period. It's not happening. We're not doing that, especially in the public.
That's what I believe.
Period. It's not happening.
I agree.
It was definitely a case of murder, and they're putting out a message. So for them to even consider it, it's like they don't even care. It's what it is. The police didn't want to consider anything besides black people don't commit suicide by hanging. That's something
I've
that
never
white
heard of
people
it done.
No, and if they did do it, I just can't see it. Period. So it's just frustrating, and it's annoying, and it's infuriating that they would even consider it as suicide without any investigation. So. Right. But that's my only comment. I just want to comment on that because it's and a happy Juneteenth to everybody. I appreciate y'all every Friday, coming up with the content that you have. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and happy Juneteenth to you.
All right.
But I agree. I could completely agree with the brother. Black folk just aren't going to do that. Even if you don't know your history, to go outside of your home and take a rope and go hang yourself from a tree, I'm not buying it. I'm just not.
Right. It doesn't
That's
make
crazy.
sense.
And you
but
see
you
how
know
quick
what?
the police were to say, "Oh, it's a suicide," and the parents and the families were like, "No, not so fast. That's bull."
Right, but you know what? They don't want to. You know what's being created here in the district. They don't want that to come to the estate. So they're going to say that it's a suicide, because if they said that it was murder or something else other than suicide, oh, I'm telling you, folks, they would be there like yesterday, marching and saying, well, what's going on, pressing the police and everything. So I think they just put that out there. I think they know more than what they're saying, and, they don't want all that in their particular state. So that's
I absolutely agree. It's like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not a forensic specialist, but I know enough to say if somebody's hanging from a tree, you look around on the ground and see what was on the ground. Was it tire tracks, bicycle tracks, motorcycle tracks, footprints? Come on.
I mean,
how
just
to get
the
up
fact
there?
that
Come on.
Yeah, the caller when he said, he mentioned a black male. A black male wouldn't do that. That's just out of a norm for a black male to commit suicide in that way. If they were going to do it, they wouldn't do it in that way. And things are happening. Those particular things, like the lynchings and stuff, are happening now because of what's going on. So when you said in your segment that they're sending a message, yes, they're sending a message like, don't come in this state, because this is what's going to happen to you if you come here. As far as equality, you're not going to get it here. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
You're right.
Yep.
All righty. Well, we're going to kick it back over to Poppa DD for living for the city. Oh, boy. I got to get some more ice. Living for the city, Poppa DD. What you got for us tonight?
Well, I've been on this for a long time. I've been on this long time, and I mentioned it earlier. Like I said, as the term goes, to stay woke. We have to look at the big picture. We have to look at the big picture, and all that's part of it. You cannot tell me that there's no video, and like you were saying, Ketel, there's a lot of narratives on why they don't want to bring it up. Like you said, they don't want it to be in their city and things like that. They'll say whatever they got to say. But there's video on doorbells. There's videos when you go 5 miles over the speed limit down a street in D.C. or somewhere on a highway. They got you, the back of your license plate. There's video almost everywhere. And while you're on that particular subject, don't give up on the subject of where the cops pulled over these white guys during these different marches, and they had Molly cocktails in the back of the car. Okay? Now, Molly cocktails start fires. You're not going to tell me that black folks are starting all of these infernos in the neighborhood. And that's the first thing ignorant white folks come out and say. Oh, my God, they burned down their own property. Well, look at the video. Who initially got out of their car and hurled that Molly cocktail? You probably got it on video, but like you said, Ketel, they're not going to mention that because there's another thing. Wow, they can't say a white guy was seen throwing the Molly cocktail at the Wendy's. If you're gonna, did you see the way that Wendy's went up in Atlanta when it was in full flame?
Yes, that was crazy.
That was the work of a professional.
Yeah.
That was not Negroes in the back with some twigs and leaves and some lighter fluid like they were starting a little campfire or some type of the barbecue pit. That thing, when something goes up in flame right in the center of the building. I'm the son of a fireman, that stuff is professional. And white folks of the Aryan nation or the Klan nation or the White Ring nation is using the opportunity of unrest to do their damage inside the neighborhood so blacks can be blamed for it. It's just classic bait and switch. Classic. And the same with the hangings, the same way. And like you said, Ketel, when they come along and they see that, the cops got to say something superfluous where, it's going to fly. Oh, suicide. Yeah. Are you kidding me? And they can do what they want. Let me tell you something. those different Klan groups and right-wing groups are so heavily funded that they could do whatever they want to do. Even when you see people disappearing, people getting shot, I mean, they're getting theirs. They hate black people. So they're gonna get you any way they can, whether it's through property damage or whatever. They're gonna get theirs. I mean, it's so interesting how now they're using inner tactics to do it internally while stuff is going on. And then the media comes along and just films a bunch of blacks coming out of somewhere that's been looted, and that's all they focus on is black people because that goes along with the story and the neighborhood and all that. And it's just a mess, man. I mean, we are just getting beat down by our own retardedness by it's almost like we cannot win. And this is why I wonder why on my job my coworkers live like hour and a half from the job. And I tell them, wow, man, you guys live way out there? Yeah, well, it's quiet. Quiet is like we said, quiet is a code for no Negroes. Oh, how's the neighborhood you live in? Oh, it's quiet. It's quiet. Whenever your white folks say quiet, that means no Negroes around at all. But they move out there, so when they come down here to do they damage, whether they buying their drugs or they getting a little swerve on because they got jungle fever or whatever they trying to satisfy from black people, they get it, but then they want to run back up to their neighborhood where everything is cool. But it ain't cool up there either because like Ward said years ago, the whole world is a ghetto.
Hello.
They up there cooking meth in the garage and they got their oxycodone and they fucked up in a whole nother way up there in the suburbs. So don't even get it twisted. They're on that show. What's that show? Them crazy ass shows that come on, Snapped and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
You know,
stuff on the ID network.
On the ID network, yeah. Snapped. Well, she came in and she choked him and killed him and then they just found the 2 kids buried underneath on the guy's property. Remember the kids was missing for a long time?
Those 2 little kids.
They found the kids right there, right on his property. Wasn't even far from the house. All the time they were looking for him, they should have found him right there. So they got their own issues. Someone take the pot calling the kettle black and, let he without sin cast the first stone. It's crazy. I mean, like I said, just be careful. Be careful. Be careful, because there's some crazy-ass people out there on the hunt. And they just trying to get theirs, get even, do what they do. Just be careful. That's all I got on that.
I think you're right, Poppa DD. The operative word is on the hunt. I think they are hunting down people.
Of course.
And this stuff we're
inadvertently. And all the riots and everything gives them the perfect cover.
Yeah.
The perfect cover. Don't think that we doing all this stuff. Don't think that. We ain't crazy.
No.
We may do some stupid shit, but we ain't crazy.
Yeah, we may be wild, but we ain't crazy.
So, and all that, and then the media, they're tearing up their neighborhood. Come on. Anyway.
But you know what? I will say this, and then I'm going to kick it over to Ketel for the Hollywood wrap-up. I am so grateful that everybody is running around now with their phones in their hand, recording everything.
But the stuff that needs to be recorded getting recorded.
No, but what I'm saying is that when I look at some of the video that people upload to social media, you see camera angles that the media is not showing you. You see things at the marches and at rallies in different cities that when you watch the news, even on the cable news networks, they show you one thing, but you check out social media from somebody who was actually there, and they're showing you a whole different version of a whole nother situation.
Yeah, but I want to see you starting these fires.
That you didn't see. Oh, I'm saying, I saw some stuff with the looting where somebody was like, see, look who's jumping out of the windows of these stores. And you saw all these white boys with hoodies on.
Yeah, projecting the image.
Long-sleeve shirts and hoodies jumping out of the stores that had jumped in there to loot and all that. And the young lady was saying, see, they keep saying that it's us. It's not. And I was like, okay, but see, the media didn't show us that. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, let's shift gears and go to the Hollywood wrap up with Ketel.
Thank you, Papa. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you take it to a theme song.
All right, we're gonna work on that. The interns got to work on that one. All right, if you guys haven't heard, Raven Simone is a married woman. She is a married woman. Ooh. That's so Raven, starring to the world to her wife before anyone even knew she was engaged. Her name is Miranda Madej, is the lucky lady to embark with Raven Simone on married life. She went on social media, of course. She went on social media and said, "I'm a married woman now." I was like, okay. Interesting. There's a lot of, I'm just going to say this, I'm going to leave it alone. There's a lot of black women in this world, but why you chose that way, I don't know. That's your thing. Anyway.
Wait a minute. Who did she marry? Or should I say, what did she marry?
A Caucasian woman. And she looks older, but, I mean, you know, it's kind of an obscure picture, but, you know, if that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. Hey, I'm not knocking nobody. Okay. All right. Also, The Voice, which I'm boycotting anyway. I'll tell you about that later. They're not picking the people that I want to be picked. But Nick Jonas, he's leaving. I guess he's going to pursue, you know, I guess he's going back on the road, I guess. Gwen Stefani, she will be returning. You know, Blake, I'm quite sure he'd be happy. He's going to be happy. So Gwen Stefani, John Legend, and Kelly Clarkson, they're going to be returning for the next season, which I won't be watching. I'm going to boycott. So anyway, but Nick Jonas, he was pretty good on them. But they were saying Nick Jonas, when he was on there, the ratings were kind of low. But, you know, it could have been because of the coronavirus. Who knows? But, you know, hopefully they're not trying to say it was because of him, but they said the ratings were a bit low. Also,
I was liking him, but that format was crazy because of the coronavirus, so that was probably the issue. Yeah, because I think the key thing is being in the studio, being live. That's what it's all about. Yeah. So. Well, if anyone watches The Bachelor can't write its racist history with one black lead. Matt James, he's going to be the first black bachelor to star on The Bachelor show. 18 years, 25 seasons. This is the first black male on here. He's going to be the lead as far as, you know, getting the women and, you know, picking who he wants to marry, I guess. But it should be interesting. His name is Matt James. I'm sorry. My personal opinion, all the guys that they pick, I'm sorry, they look gay. That's just me. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But to each his own, I guess. I don't watch that show at all, but I see the commercials because they kill you with the commercials. And I will say that of all the commercials I've seen, I am inclined to agree. But my question is this. If you're going to have a black bachelor, how many black bachelorettes are you going to have?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So maybe that's going to be in the work. Who knows? Oh, I see what you're saying. Instead of a black bachelor, but then all white cast, as far as the women he's going to pick from. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, because they usually throw at least one or two. Like I would call them tokens. Yeah. They always put at least one or two black women that are trying to get this white man. So I wonder when it's the other way around, are they going to flip it and have one or two white women and the rest will be black women?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, we shall see.
Well, y'all shall see. I don't watch that show. Just because it's a black bachelor, I'm still not watching it.
I know that's right. Also, Black Artists for Freedom. They have started a website. Over 1,000 artists have pledged to give to different organizations, black organizations, and just their message that they're going to put out there is Black Artists for Freedom. You have people like Lena Waite, Tessa Thompson, John Legend. And John Legend, he's been everywhere now. Gabrielle Union. Yeah. Matter of fact, he has something coming up on Sunday, on Father's Day. I mean, you have people like, what's her name? Cynthia. What is her name? Cynthia Erivo. Like I said, Gabrielle Union. Nikki Giovanni. Oh wow, Questlove.
Okay.
So you just have to check out the website. It's the Black Artists for Freedom. It's a collective of black workers in the cultural industry. So I guess in the industry as far as entertainment. They have pledged certain things that they're going to do, and I guess a lot of the entertainers, they're using the platform for what's going on, what's going on now. So I mean, it makes sense, which is a good thing. So. Yeah, so check that out. That's it for tonight. I'll say my last word later on, but one last note on the Bloods, the Five Bloods, Spike Lee's movie. I have to say he did a great job on that. It's about 4 African American vets that battled the forces of man and nature when they returned to Vietnam, seeking the remains of the fallen squad leader and the gold fortune that he helped them hide. So they going and dealing with some demons, and then also they're going to try to find the gold bars that they left in Vietnam. So, but that's a good thing to see. The Five Bloods about Spike Lee, that movie. So that's my Hollywood wrap up.
All right, I did see that, and it was an excellent movie.
It was, yeah. I enjoyed it.
Have you seen that with Poppa?
Yes, that was nice.
Yeah, that was really good. All right, thank you, Ketel. Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to move right into the world-famous Kiss It list. Poppa DD, can you break it down for us one time?
Kiss It list is a list we put out of everybody that showed their butt during last week, and we put them on blast for what they did, and we got a song for them at the end of it.
First one on the list this week?
First one is a white man that he was caught spraying White Lives Matter.
Oh boy.
On Arthur Ashe's statue in Richmond. What the fuck?
Really?
Who claimed he's not a racist, but all lives matter.
Go have 5.
What's wrong with these people?
Like I said, they look when you say Black Lives Matter, they think it's a downgrade. But they
flip out.
Their asses is twisted, man. They twisted as hell.
They flip out.
They twisted as hell. Anyway, all people who have issues with the celebration of Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Okay. All the people who are making and wearing the masks political when it's about health and safety. All right. Trump for threatening to sue John Bolton to block the sale of his book when most of the inserts from the book has already been published out. And I honor John Bolton for really going in like he did. He went in hard on Trump. And Trump is pissed off like crazy. But Trump is better being pissed on. Anyway, unless you like that.
Yeah, he probably would.
Trump for calling all the top officials great when he hired them, and then dopes when he fires them. You know how he says, "Yeah, he's great. Then when he gets rid of them, they're incompetent.
Oh, what a dope!
Yeah, he was dope. He was
what
great.
What a blockhead. He's stupid.
He's great.
Okay.
Mike Pence.
Oh yeah, Mike Pence. Mike Pence has been going around saying the pandemic is under control. We got this. It's almost over. Even though the reality is that some states are seeing new spikes, new incidents, more deaths. Mike Pence needs to go have a seat and get his head out of Trump's butt. Just saying. Okay, we got Mnuchin, who's the head of who's the secretary of the Treasury Department and the Treasury Department for deliberately withholding financial aid to Native American tribes that was already authorized by Congress. They have now been ordered to withhold to release the money. I don't know why they're sitting on it like that. I guess they're just hating. I don't know what their problem is. Also, we got Trump again for bragging about a non-existent AIDS vaccine. I don't even know why he came out of his mouth with that. He just makes up stuff anyway. And cops, we got the cops that shot Raynard Brooks for kicking and standing on his shoulder after they shot him. And we got Trump one more time for saying that he made Juneteenth famous and that nobody had heard of it until his rally.
It was on the same day.
Jesus. I don't know what to say about that man.
My parents told me about Juneteenth years and years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well.
Ketel, you got anybody else to add to this week's Kiss It list?
Roger Goodell, as usual.
Yeah, Roger Goodell.
Yeah, NFL. So
and
that's about it.
The cops, like you said, Ketel, the cops in the state that found the two men hung and act like it was suicide because they don't want that.
Yeah.
They don't want the marshals to come to
quick
their
to
town.
say suicide.
Yeah, give me a break.
How about lazy cops?
They saw more evidence. I'm sure when they came to that scene, evidence was all over the place on what exactly
Had
happened.
to be.
So
and
anyway.
also, I want to add, I just forgot. Oh, all the cops in Atlanta who called out sick, trying to protest because one of your cops has been charged with a murder that he committed. Are you serious?
Take your ass to work and feed your family. Don't worry about them damn murders.
Exactly.
Better go get that money, boy. Shit, badge of honor, my ass. You better get that paycheck every 2 weeks, dropping your damn direct deposit. Anyway.
And one more. All the quote unquote Karens out here that keep calling the cops on black people that are minding their own damn business.
Yeah.
You know, now they call them Karens.
Karens.
And the men, they call them Kevins. So all the Karens and all the Kevins that keep calling the police or threatening to on black people that are minding their mother freaking business.
Black man just came in my building.
You are on the kismet list
he doesn't live here.
of the
He's
Pajama Party. And if that's everybody?
That's everybody.
Okay. We have a special award for everybody on this week's Kissing List. Hold on tight. Here it is.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh. Well, you can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever loving country ass. That's right.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir and happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth.
All right.
I'm celebrating. Cheers.
All right. All right.
I'm enjoying my strawberry fizz.
With egg whites.
With no egg whites, thank you.
With the egg whites. Pop.
No egg whites.
Put some egg whites in the pot with some
I
damn
am not
butter.
putting snot in my glass. Thank you.
Well, what's your last word, Papa? Our last word is coming up.
My last word is to stay woke. You know, and that term has such a stronger meaning. Stay woke. Check your surroundings. Before you go out at night, look around. When you open up the front door, take a look outside first. When you get in your car, stay vigilant of your surroundings, because you never know who could be, trying to spy on you to, because we're closing in on the enemy, if you want to say that, for lack of a better word, because everybody thought they had it so good, but now that the plot is thickening and we're in force all over the world, like I said, they're lucky, like the lady said, they're lucky that black folks want restitution and not revenge, because it would be ugly. It would be ugly.
It is.
Just like they won the North. Okay? Anyway.
Whoop, there it is.
Okay. So.
Well, my last word is happy Juneteenth. Let us celebrate, embrace, and respect the freedom that we have. Continue to fight for what's right, fight for what's ours. We're not going to rest until we get what's right. And that's only fair. If this is supposed to be one nation, I was going to say under a groove.
Okay.
Just for the funk of it. But we got to get what's right. If we're all supposed to be equal under the law, then let's be equul under the law.
That's right.
It's not going to be equal as long as you have more and I have less. That bull crap has got to stop. So let's just all,
agree.
Like Papa said, let's stay awake, stay woke, and do what we got to do. See this thing to the end.
What you got?
All right. My last word is kind of a history lesson here. I'm sorry, Tulsa Race Massacre. Look at that. That was in 1921. Second one, these are kind of like the catalysts that have gotten us to this point. Emmett Till, he died on August 28, 1955. Then after that, the boycott began in December 5th, 1955. Someone I know very close and dear to me, he was born on that particular date, which was very ironic. Also, number 4, the March on Washington was August 28, 1963. Now, Emmett Till died on August 28, 55. The March on Washington came on the same day, but in 63. And also, last but not least, Black Artists of Freedom. Check the website out and just check and see what they're doing. And let's just stay black. Black power. That's how I feel.
Hey,
that's my last word.
Power to the people.
Yep. All right, now.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Tell a friend about the Pajama Party Show. Hang out with us. You know our motto, PJs only, no clothes allowed. We give it to you raw. We give it to you straight. We'll do it again next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Let's see. That's about it.
Yeah, let me give you one more 4 equation I have here. All right, 4 times 4 is 16, okay? Double 4 is 16. Abraham Lincoln was a 16th president. 4 times 4. Okay, another 44 was the back of the jersey of Hank Aaron, who was the first person that broke the home run record over Babe Ruth, number 44. All right, Barack Obama was the 44th president, another 4 and 4. And Martin Luther King was assassinated on April 4th, another 44. All right, so keep those 4s in mind. Starting from Abraham Lincoln to Barack Obama, that 4 equation has something in common.
I think
anyway,
we need to do the history lesson. That's all. Just start reading some history. That's all.
Oh man, we got.
Yeah, and definitely read up about Black Wall Street and the massacre in Tulsa.
Oh man,
make sure you know about that.
And Emmett Till, don't leave him out. That was vicious.
Yeah.
And I do want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, all the men who have been a father figure. Even if you don't have a genetic son, if you have fathered or been someone in somebody's life,
you brought somebody in this world,
Happy
period.
Father's Day to you.
We ain't judging.
Yeah.
You brought somebody in this world, period.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody judging whether
those
rich, poor, or
who have stood
indifferent.
in the gap for somebody, Happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah, you represent.
Let's celebrate the black men
I raised
on
a lot of
Father's
kids.
Day. How about that?
I know that's right. Okay.
All right.
All right. So we'll take it down. Yeah.
You gonna get on out of here? I'm gonna go get me another strawberry fizz.
I'm gonna get me a cold beer and a brown liquor.
Okay,
I'm
Ketel,
drinking
what
some brown liquor tonight too. I'm drinking some brown liquor, some bourbon.
All right.
Some Bullet.
Well, we're gonna say cheers to Juneteenth. You all be safe. Have a good time. Keep your mask on out in public, and let's all be safe. All right. Let's say good night.
See you next week, same time. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9:15 CP time.
All right.
How about that?
This is Redwine saying bonsoir.
All right. Good night.
Say good night, Ketel.
Good night. Good night.
And we're out.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of cheers.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko, Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Put summer crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Summer party, grown as that day, throwing a party. Put summer party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Summer party.